Okay, listen. I just have to make one thing clear from the very start. I am not a Nintendo hater. I absolutely love this company and highly appreciate what they do for the gaming industry and the hobby in general. Yes, the way they handle the whole Pal Worlds issue is just disgusting. However, compared to others, Nintendo is, well, relatively okay when it comes to their overall business. However, there is one aspect of Nintendo that just drives me absolutely nuts. And that is the pricing of their games. Like, their gaming prices are not just unfair, they are simply ridiculous. And today I'm gonna prove you why. Not through some over-emotional subjectivist half-baked opinion, but through clear material evidence. Like, let me show you an example. Here is the remaster for Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on the Switch. As noted, this is a remaster. These games originally came out on the Nintendo Wii almost 20 years ago, and they are some of the most successful games on the console, with millions of copies sold worldwide. This means that the game has already made its money back. Nintendo doesn't need to cover high production costs, as they have already been paid off many years ago. Porting it to the Switch was probably relatively cheap, and so naturally you would think the game itself would have a relatively affordable price tag. Right? So how much does this game cost exactly? $70. Yes, 70 for a remaster. A remaster that doesn't even include anything like within the box. No soundtrack, no manual, it's just a simple cartridge and that's it. For the record, this is not a criticism of the game itself. The game is fantastic, but seriously? I mean, yes, that is still better than when it first came out. Then it literally cost $90. Now, I'm sure some people will start nagging on about, oh, but the price makes sense. There is inflation, there are tariffs, and the physical game cartridge that they print the game on costs a lot of money. Well, yes, don't get me wrong. I understand that companies need to make a profit and all that. Remember, all the people we love at Nintendo, well, they have families, they have hospital bills to pay off, like, I get that. However, I don't think this argument is valid. Why? Well, let me show you a different game. This is Hollow Knight. This is an amazing game. In fact, it is so good I actually bought it twice. First time on Steam, second time, well, on the Switch. And if you open up this physical edition, you'll notice something interesting. The game actually includes some nice little bonuses inside the box, like this instruction manual. Some people might think an instruction manual is nothing to write home about, but I really appreciate this one, as it not only explains the game really well, it also gives insight into the lore, the story, and the Hollow Knight universe in general. However, the real treat is this thing right here. A physical map of the game world. This map is not just artistically beautiful, but can also be very helpful, especially for newcomers to the game. And just so you know, this is not a premium, deluxe, or collector's edition. This is just a standard, normative edition of the game. And the publishers still gave all these little goodies to enjoy with it. Now, how much does the physical edition of Hollow Knight cost, you may ask? $50. Not 70, not 60, 50. For $20 less than Mario Galaxy, you get this incredible game with all the DLC included, by the way, in physical edition that you can resell later if you wish. And you get this beautiful map for free. And so, if Team Cherry, the company behind Hollow Knight, can sell this game for $50, again, a game they have already made their money back on, because it's one of the most successful indie games of the generation, I think, with the added cost of map, manual printing, and they're still able to make a profit, then Nintendo can definitely do the same. However, once again, some people might object, claiming that, oh, but in Super Mario Galaxy you get both the first game and the sequel in the same package, meaning that you get 2 games in one, and so the price is completely justified. No. Again, I think this argument is just objectively wrong. How can I prove that? Well, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered. Also on the Nintendo Switch. Just like Super Mario Galaxy, this game is a remaster with 2 separate games included in a single package. However, unlike Super Mario Galaxy, you might notice that this is actually the deluxe edition. When opening the box, you not only get the physical game itself, but you also get a steel cover, a physical art book, and a physical soundtrack. Given that all of these things are included in the box, this deluxe edition is probably very expensive, right? No. You wanna know how much this cost when it was first released? $65. Yes, for this incredible deluxe edition, with all of these physical extras, you only had to pay $65. And for the record, that's just the American price. In my country, I got it for the equivalent of $40. Brand new, and I live in Scandinavia, for crying out loud. It's like the most expensive place on the planet right now. Nintendo games, however, oh no, they're still $70 over here. And Nintendo has the audacity of making us pay $70 for a remastered version of some of the most commercially successful video games of the entire 7th console generation. Super Mario Galaxy 1 alone almost sold as many copies as Halo 3, for crying out loud. And guess what? Super Mario Galaxy is not alone. Mario Kart 8, originally released on the Wii U, still costs $60. Oh well, I mean, at least it's the deluxe edition of Mario Kart 8. I mean, surely they will include all of the DLC and everything, right? Oh wait. Breath of the Wild costs $60. The Switch 2 edition costs $70. And this game is almost a decade old now. No map or manual is included. And check this out. New Super Mario Bros. U. Look, are you joking right now? And the list goes on and on. Again, let me make it clear. I really love Nintendo, alright? This video is not meant to be some sensational Nintendo hate video or something. However, I really felt like I had to point out that, well, this is just ridiculous. Seriously, Nintendo. You have a lot to learn.